If you're looking for a recipe this holiday season that is rich and decadent, but oh so easy, my Fudgy Caramel Truffles are for you. I'm making a triple batch today for my Special Veterans Project, but let's chat through how to make a single batch. In a microwave-safe bowl, place 25 caramel squares. To that, we're going to add 1 cup of milk chocolate chips. Make sure you don't substitute the chocolate chips here. You want milk chocolate to make this rich and fudgy. Next, a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Scrape all of that delicious cream out of the bowl, and once we have all 3 ingredients combined, we're going to head to the microwave to heat. You could also do this on the stove in a double boiler if you have the time. Since I'm making a triple batch and so many cookies for my project, I'm using the microwave to make this quick and easy. The name of the game here is to make this smooth and glossy. For a single batch, you're going to heat in 30-second to 1-minute intervals and stir in between. I'm going to take this bowl to the microwave, pop it in for a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. So I spent 3 minutes in the microwave this first round. Remember, that's for a triple batch. And a quick stir tells us that it's starting to combine, but we're definitely not there yet. This is probably the hardest part of the process. Definitely not hard, that's probably the wrong word to use, but you need patience. Make sure you spend your time stirring and smoothing the mixture, because that is what makes the delicious pull of the truffle that we're going to see at the end of this video. Back to the microwave for a couple more minutes. So 2 more minutes in the microwave and we are definitely getting closer. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time this round really stirring and working that caramel against the side of the warm bowl just to help break down some of those cubes a little bit easier in between microwaving sessions. It's a bit of a balance to get your heat but don't burn the chocolate. So the more time we spend stirring and kind of working the mixture in between, the better off we are. You can see that we're starting to get glossy, but we still have a few chunks, so I think we're going to need 1 more round in the microwave here. Okay, back to the microwave for this bowl, and we'll see how close we are. I spent 2 more minutes in the microwave for this triple batch, and I think we're finally there. I'm going to spend a little more time working out any last lumps that I find, but we definitely look smooth and glossy and rich. If your mixture looks a little bit thin, that's okay. It should look like mine on the screen here, which looks thin because it's warm. Once we pop this into the refrigerator on the next step, it's going to thicken up quite a bit. So don't panic if yours looks a little thin at first blush. Next, grab a pan. For a single batch, an 8x8 would work, and line it with cling wrap. You could use wax paper or even tin foil. Just make sure that none of our fudgy caramel mixture can run below the cling wrap that you use. So once it's lined, we're just going to pour out our fudgy caramel mixture. We're really just looking to cool this, so you don't have to get into every nook and cranny, and it doesn't even have to be a smooth layer. I just kind of smooth it out just a little bit so it cools somewhat evenly. And it also helps you look for any remaining lumps. If you find that the caramel hasn't broken down, just pull it out at this time. All right, we have our pan full, and the next thing to do is pop this in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. Once we put it in the refrigerator for 20 minutes, we're going to transfer it to the freezer for 30 minutes. We want to make sure that our mixture is nice and cool, nearly frozen, because we need to roll it into balls at the next step. So grab your favorite Christmas beverage and head to the living room for your favorite movie to wait the 50 minutes while this cools. That's the easiest part of the whole recipe. So our fudgy caramel is nice and cool, and now it's time to roll it into the balls. I don't even fuss with scissors or knives, nothing to cut this apart. I just tear a chunk off and roll it between my hands. You're looking for about 1-inch size balls, but you can really make them as big or as small as you want. A 1-inch size ball is going to yield about 2 dozen in a single batch recipe. So a quick little tip here, you can run a little bit of water, very small amount, on the palms of your hands to help this from sticking. But if things get too sticky, just put it back in the refrigerator or the freezer to cool down again before you continue. You definitely want it cool so that we can work these into balls and they don't start to kind of disintegrate or melt while we're working the fudge. So it took me about 5 minutes and I have 6 dozen on my tray. Again, 2 dozen for a single batch here. Just do the 6 dozen. You're definitely going to want to eat all of these delicious little balls. And the next thing we're going to do is put them back into the freezer for about 15 minutes so that they can really chill before we dip them in our chocolate. Again, the best part, top off your favorite Christmas beverage and head back to your movie for 15 more minutes. This recipe is super hard, right? And now that your balls are frozen, we're just gonna dip them in some chocolate. I put almond bark in my little mini crock pot. I swear to you, I need to name my mini crock pot because this time of year, it's always on the counter and with me. We're like Willy Wonka in our house. There's like a river of chocolate at all times. But you just toss your little truffle ball in, coat it on all sides with the chocolate, and put it on wax paper to dry. I give them a little shake and then scrape the bottom of my fork on the edge of the mini crock pot to just get off any excess. If you're going to decorate, like me, I use flaky salt, you're going to want to dip 5 or 6 balls at a time and then decorate them. If you waited until the very end, because the truffle on the inside is still frozen, the chocolate on the outside is going to harden up relatively quickly and your salt or sprinkles won't stick. Another beautiful way to decorate these, you could put some white chocolate in a piping bag and just do a quick little sprinkle over all of them. That will look really nice. But hey, they taste so good, you don't have to decorate them at all. The hardest part is waiting for them to dry. If you make this recipe and think it's as fabulous as we do, drop a comment on our page and give this video a share. Wishing you the warmest holiday season from our little homestead to yours.